Now we're just getting into like feet porn.
I mean, I'm good with that too. What is that? I don't think that's real. I think she just did that for the foot. That just made the watch even douchier for me.
It did. For me, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I hate this watch even more. Which also goes back to what I always say, and that is, there's a watch for everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter your income level. There are watches out there that can be exciting and interesting and make the hobby fun for you, no matter how much you're spending. If you're wearing your watch like that, I don't trust you. Welcome to the channel. This is our first Between the Lugs of 2025, and we're gonna do it a little different than how we normally do it. We're gonna try to create some structure to our Between the Lugs podcast. We're testing this out, so I would love to hear from you guys if you enjoyed the structure. If you have any additional opinions or suggestions, we are open to that. So I think the biggest news for 2025 for our channel is we launched Patreon. Finally, today, in fact, you won't see this video until next week, but today is Friday, and we launched Patreon. So please go check out our Patreon page. There is a ton of benefits for you for as little as $2 a month. And if you enjoy this content, then please consider subscribing to Patreon. So even though it does cost some money, we believe that our benefits outweigh that cost.
Yeah, there's a lot of value there.
Yeah, and it helps our channel tremendously. So go check that out. That's probably the biggest news. The other thing is Bowl of Salmon. Tom is the one that runs that channel and IG, and he announced that he recently has quit his day job and has gone creative full time. So,
dude, that's awesome.
I know. He released his State of the Watch collection video. It is a very good video. I suggest anybody watching this go check out that video. Give him some love because it has to be scary quitting your job to do this full time. So I'm sure as excited as he is, he also is probably a little worried about what the future holds. And I think showing him some love is real important right now.
Yeah,
and help his channel grow so that he can continue being a creative full-time forever. All right, let's get into, before we do that, let's do our wrist check. I almost forgot. What are you wearing today?
Oh, you let me go first?
I'm going to let you go first.
All right, Jason, that was nice of you. I'm on the DJ today. It was just part of my business attire. So Datejust, mint dial, fluted on Jubilee. I think it's a good casual watch at the office to, pair with a dress shirt or whatever.
Yeah, excellent. I am wearing my Patek Philippe annual calendar. I love this watch. And funny little story, I let Felix borrow this watch.
Oh God!
And he put a little love mark on there. So the last day that he was wearing it, when he was supposed to bring it back and return it to me, he had a little boo-boo, and he hit it against a door, and so I've got a love mark on here, courtesy of Felix.
Where's it at?
Sitting right up here. When we do our close-up shot, everybody will get to see it. It's part of the story of the watch now. Yeah. Felix will be sure to point it out. Let's get into what's trending on social. And one of the videos that I have selected is this video here.
I love this video.
So bro is literally begging for money, but not in the traditional way. He's begging for money because he needs to buy a Rolex.
What's awesome, or people are actually, they're giving him money for it.
People are actually giving him money. And you could see that guy there was like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
I don't think he read the sign. Like that guy just dropped money in, and then as he walked away, he read the signs like, what did I just do?
Kind of genius marketing though. Like bold, need money, and then Rolex is big, but it's just lightly
it's not bolded out. Yeah. Genius. I doubt that he got the money to buy a Rolex though. No. But maybe a good start. Who knows? I have no idea
follow up with him.
How much he made that day. So now let's go to our next video.
Hey everyone.
So here we go.
I want to talk about something important today because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice.
So he announces that they're going to stop fact checking, and he just sports a Greubel Forsey watch for $900,000 on his wrist.
Yeah. I want to stop fact checking so I can continue to buy $1 million watches. So you guys don't abandon my platform.
Do you know anything about this brand?
I don't, from afar, from here I can see it, but at first I thought it was Glashute. I thought it was a Panomatic lunar.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That vibe.
I think it kind of has some similarities to that.
Yeah, now it looks nothing like it.
So
but
Greubel, the interesting thing about that watch in particular, for most of their watches, they're handmade. And like when I say handmade, like they were actually handmade. So this watch in particular, they only make about 200 or so a year. This watch, they only make around 2 or 3 a year of this particular watch. And the reason is because on this particular piece, they only use old world style craftsmanship.
That's cool.
So everything that they do is done by hand and not with the use of modern machinery.
That's awesome.
I pulled up a little fact. 6,000 man hours goes into that watch right there.
Good God.
That is equivalent to about 3 years of full-time work by one person.
That is nuts. Does it
into
literally
that
take
watch.
them that long, or they got
Well, they have
multiple
multiple craftsmen that work on the watch, but that's how many hours goes into making that watch.
That's
it's
insane.
100% handmade.
That watch is dope. I didn't mean to say lunar. It reminded me of the inverse.
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about.
Panama,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. Somebody would correct you. Don't worry.
Yeah, we've got a good following. They're like, I wanted to correct myself just because. But yeah, I would never pay $900,000 for it. It's sick.
It's a cool watch. It doesn't have the look for me though at that money.
No.
Like for me, I would want it to, and I understand, and I am the person that would buy into that kind of marketing.
Like a custom work watch.
Yeah, like a completely handmade watch. Like I'm the sucker for it.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's not the look that I would spend that money on if I were to ever have that money. But who knows? I mean, you've got enough money to drop $900K, you know.
That's a
perspective changes.
That's a tutor for him, you know.
All right, and then the last video is this of a Richard Mille being wound. This is a Richard Mille RM67-01.
I can't get excited about any. I hate Richard Milles, so I don't. Yeah, I mean, winder's cool, but like that's.
But why?
I mean,
but why?
That just made the watch even douchier for me.
It did. For me, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I hate this watch even more. Like, it's so ridiculous.
I hate the fucking
It's
brand,
over the
dude.
top. Like, everything about Richard Mille is so over the top.
Does it force you to do that, or is that just a
no?
Okay, I didn't know if it had like, you know, it could be like reversed, where it's like what an innie.
It could be. I don't know enough about this watch. I'm assuming that you could manually wind it if you wanted to, but who knows? Maybe you do have to have.
Maybe
this
there's
winder.
like 3 prongs or something, and it
right.
like connects.
I love that. Jovel 2323 wrote, "You spent how much on a watch that needs a mechanical dildo to wind it? Good purchase, bro.
Nice.
Hope you sell it before the hype train leaves. Never mind."
Dude, I hope, yeah. I love people that go and roast.
Dude,
Good roast.
That was my favorite comment.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get into, so I just dropped a video yesterday, watch trends for 2025. And I'll be honest, man, I think it's a banger of a video. But in the watch trends for 2025, I predict that dress watches are back. And what's happening is people are starting finally to not focus so much on steel sports watches. And finally, people are interested in more dress pieces. So with that, you and I were having a conversation. That's where this came from. We started looking at salmon dial dress watches.
Yeah.
And you threw me one, I threw you one, back and forth. So we have a Longines Master Collection Salmon dial. It's a reference L284344932. Then we also have a Frederique Constant Classics Premier, reference FC301SAL3B6. And then we have the Chopard L.U.C.
That's where it's at.
1860, reference 168860-3003. All right. And so what I wanted to do was go through, of these three watches, which one are you a buyer on?
Depends on my my bag at the moment, but like right now,
Yeah.
I like the Frederique better than the Longines.
Okay.
I like the case design better on that one. The dial is prettier. I do like the those are applied.
This is engraved.
Those are engraved. Okay.
Engraved Breguet numerals.
The Breguet. I'm a big fan for that. I'm always a sucker for that.
Yeah.
However, I think the Frederique overall takes the win just for overall design language. I think it's a better, classier look. And I believe that's a 38.5, right?
It's a 38. Both are 38.5.
Yeah. I like the size on that. Now, if I were to rank, if I had any amount, Chopard would take the win. That watch is an absolute banger. It's beautiful. I love the strap, everything on it. But if I'm not spending, I think it's $23K. I'm not spending $23K on that watch right now.
Yeah.
Would I in the future? Yeah. I would get that watch over all of them. That's my favorite watch out of all three. If I'm just going to go grab a Salmon dial, I would choose between the other two. I think the Frederique, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying that. It takes the win just from everything. I love the case back on it, exhibition. I like how wide it is. It's pretty. Their case design looks good. I feel like if I'm buying...
If you're buying today, which watch is that?
The Frederique.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I just think it's a little sexier.
So if you want to compare, let's go. If I was to buy, it would definitely be the Chopard. And the Chopard is absolutely ridiculous. A little bit of spec information. It's 36.5 millimeters by 8.2 millimeters thin. I mean, extremely thin. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a beautiful case. It's got an in-house caliber, 22 karat gold bidirectional micro rotor. I am a sucker for a micro rotor, and I think that the movement is so impeccably finished with that micro rotor, which allows it to get so thin that this is far and beyond so much better than the other two that I would be willing to spend the money on this watch. It is a full gold dial that has then been coated with salmon, with the salmon color. So you do get precious metal, even though that is a steel case. They call it lucent steel, which is a proprietary steel that Chopard has. It's 50% stronger than standard stainless steel.
Wow.
So you get a lot of technical things in this Chopard that maybe you don't see right off, but what's inside of it and what went into making this watch is worth the $23,000 price tag to me. But if you're not going to get the Chopard, the difference between the Longines and the Frederique, I'm Frederique all day. And I'll tell you why. So both are very similar, 38.5 millimeter case size. The Longines is 10.2 millimeters thick. The Frederique is 10.6 millimeters thick. So pretty much very similar specs on that. But the Longines uses a base ETA caliber, where the Frederique uses the caliber based on the Lejeune G100. Now, while that is not necessarily in-house, it kind of is, because as we talked before, it's owned by Citizen, and it's a conglomerate. So they're borrowing a movement from, Citizen makes movements outside of their own watches, which is this Lejeune, and it kind of is an in-house movement. I would say it's a more interesting movement than a base ETA movement.
Yeah.
It also is it's finished prettier. And that rotor is gorgeous with the Geneve striping that they have on it. It's finished better. I like the case architecture better. I like the dial better. And while it's not engraved, I do appreciate the engraving for the Longines. It's hand or it's applied brigade numerals. I just think that this watch looks so much better. And by the way, a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
It's harder to get because it's for the European market only, but you can source this. We looked at this. You can source these, and for $2,000, I mean, come on. And the Salmon on this, I couldn't find the spec for the Longines, but I did find it. It's a rose gold coated dial.
Okay.
So the Salmon is actually rose gold. That's how they got that color.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a banger watch. And I will say this, I don't think it's fair to put the Chopard against these two. I think then you might as well throw the Patek Salmon down there. I mean, that's, so if I was doing Chopard, I would put that against like Patek Salmon dial and, Longines Salmon dial. That's kind of the same category. Maybe throw Baltic in here or somebody else, because Baltic has a Salmon that came out. That's how I would rate them.
I think the reason that these three are nested together is because it's to show in contrast what you can get for $2,000 that's really close to 23.
Yeah,
as far as the look on your wrist.
That's fair.
Which also goes back to what I always say, and that is, there's a watch for everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter your income level. There are watches out there that can be exciting and interesting and make the hobby fun for you, no matter how much you're spending.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I mean, I think that's a good, fair comparison. But I'm saying if you're comparing to like what you're going to buy, those are different leagues. For we would lump 3 for one set of people, 3 for another group of folks, based on budget. But it is good to say, hey, this you can get a similar feel, and vibe for a fraction of the cost, a tenth of the cost.
And just to finish this out, as far as power reserve goes, because most people are interested in power reserve, the Longines is 72 hours, the Frederique is 68 hours, and the Chopard is 65 hours. So they're all kind of playing within a few hours of each other. Very similar power reserve for all three. All right. So what I'm kind of most excited about, I think, is what does your watch say about you, the way that you wear it? Okay, so everybody knows the standard way, which is how Mike and I both are wearing our watch right now. But there's other ways to wear your watch besides this.
Here, you turn that way, and I'm gonna turn this way, and you do one of them.
Oh, you want me to do one?
Yeah, no, we'll both change our style, and then let's talk about what we feel of that style. I'm not looking at yours. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully we don't do the same style. Yes.
So the above your shirt, jacket, whatever, like it's wrapped around your clothing.
Yeah.
That's a thing. And I thought it was a joke at first. This is many years ago when I saw somebody famous was doing it. And I thought it was a European.
Listen, here it's called overclothing wear. That's what it's called.
Wow, that was a genius.
Called overclothing, worn over long sleeves, gloves, or a jacket cuff. And it's common with certain sports, fashion looks, or cold weather.
Did it come from racing? Because race car drivers, you see them put it over the glove.
Maybe
that's where it became a
maybe
thing.
That's somebody saw that and then was like, hey, that would look great over the top of my shirt.
Yeah, pilots aren't going to pull, but that's a function.
That's a function while you're doing a task.
Right.
Different than just walking around on a daily wearing your watch like that.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're wearing your watch like that, I don't trust you. Right? Like I can't
unless you're flying an F-18.
No, I'm talking. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about if you're walking around every day wearing your watch. Like I can't trust your judgment.
If you're a fighter pilot, I'll trust you.
100%.
Walk all day, fighter pilots out there.
Hopefully, Paul and Felix can find some photos to pop up of the styles that we're talking about. So Another style is called underside of the wrist. Okay, so that's when you take your watch and you turn it upside down and you wear it this way. Yeah, exactly. And here's what I'll say. I'll
scratch the shit out of it. Like,
I will say I understand the function of it, where it's like if you're at a desk and you can just turn your wrist, I guess, and look at the time. Maybe some people are more comfortable with that wear, but when I see it in public, I'm always like, man, that's not a watch guy. That's the first thing I always think of.
No, because like I already get annoyed scratching my clasp up.
Yeah.
And you think if you're on a desk, or like it's not practical for me to pull my arm up like this. Well, maybe it is easier for some people because you turn your wrist to look and they're not turning. R.I.P.
Jimmy Carter, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's how he wore his watch.
Okay.
And so, listen, I'm not going to hate on that style of wearing a watch. I think it's one of the less egregious ways of wearing the watch as we go through this list. But I just always think that's not a watch guy. I have a hard time thinking that somebody that is really big into horological, whatever, is going to wear their watch like that. So that's the second style. The other is left-right wrist, right? And basically, that's wearing it on your dominant hand and not your non-dominant hand. So I'm right-handed. I wear a watch on my left side. You do the same. But if we were left-handed, we would wear it on our non-dominant, which is our right. Well, there's people that wear their watch on their dominant side.
There's lefties that do that, right? So there's more right side wound watches. So I know lefties that do
wear
that
it on their dominant side.
Yeah, just because of the winding capabilities.
Yeah, ease of winding.
Yeah, but that's the only. I don't know folks that do it just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
I mean, when I was a kid, I used to wear a watch on my right hand side.
I see lots of people that are right-handed wearing a watch
but like
on their right side.
I'm using this hand the most, so you're banging your piece up more.
But yeah, I know. I also think it's a little bit weird. Again, one of the ones that's maybe not as bad as wearing it over the top of your cuff. But I also think I'm like, man, like it just looks so much better on the left side to me. I think maybe because I'm just used to seeing that so much, it just
maybe that's how your brain is trained.
Yeah, like a watch on your left side just looks appropriate. It looks proper. That's like the place it's supposed to go. In my mind, that's what I think. But
it's the same thing with pockets on jackets, like suit jackets.
Yeah,
you hardly ever see them on the right side. I don't know if that's a thing, but
sure,
maybe it's just the fashion way. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, loose versus tight. So a loose fit watch or nice and snug. What do you think when you see somebody wearing it super loose on their wrist?
If it's super loose, I feel like it's a lazy thing to me. I don't know. I just feel like it's like somebody that doesn't tie their shoe. Take the time to go get your watch fit correctly. Like listen, if you lost a lot of weight, some people do. They're like, I don't like something, hugging my wrist. That I get it. But bro, I've seen people wearing Rolexes, expensive, not just Rolex, expensive watches, very loose, and I feel like it.
You just said Rolex, like that was the most expensive watch.
I corrected the statement so assholes like you didn't think that. I knew what you were thinking, so this dude. But yeah, I think it like jacks your bracelet up or something. I don't know. I mean, you're putting.
Yeah. When I see it loosely, for whatever reason, it's like that's what it feels like to me. It feels sloppy, just like you're talking about.
Like you got it lazy from somebody, and you just never. It's
but
not
yours.
Yours.
I don't think you're lazy. I think you're intentionally wearing it like that, and that looks sloppy.
Yeah.
Like it just. I'm like, dude, just tighten it a little bit. If you want it loose, I'm not talking about where there's some movement. I'm talking about where it's sliding back and forth.
Yeah,
it's sitting up on the top of your hand.
They can wear it on their forearm.
Yeah, it's just sitting right here. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? It's just so sloppy looking. And then we have a reverse strap orientation. So a reverse strap orientation, I've seen everything that we've talked about. I've never seen a reverse strap orientation. That's
where you flip it totally upside down?
That's where I would wear this watch upside down on my wrist. I don't know why you would do that. It may be chosen for personal or functional reasons.
You mean the crystal is against your skin, or it's just turned upside down and
no? Like
sixes
if I take this off and turn it upside down,
this right here,
that's reverse strap orientation.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about crystal down.
No.
You know, and I've seen people do that too. I don't know. I think there's a purpose for that, but
no.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe you like to look at your watch like this, or show other people
in a mirror, or show other people.
Hey, bro, what time is it?
Yeah, can you tell me what time it is, bro? Super bizarre. You probably have some screws loose. I don't know. I mean, please, if somebody knows why you would wear your watch like that, let us know in the comments. The last one of all of them, another one that I don't think I've seen, is wearing a watch on your ankle.
Did you just make that shit up?
No.
Dude, that's,
no.
Felix,
Did
you catch Felix doing that?
It says it's rare and unconventional, but some people choose to wear a watch on their ankle for stylistic reasons. Here's what I'll say, man. If you're wearing a watch on your ankle, you can't be my friend.
you could be a Patreon, but actually, dude, you have to be a Patreon.
Dude, yeah. If you watch our videos, you have to be a Patreon. If you wear your watch on your ankle. Like,
ankle check.
What in the fuck is up with that? That is so bizarre to me.
Real quick, just put watch on ankle.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull one up.
We can see an asshole doing that.
Now we're just getting into like feet porn.
I'm good. I mean, I'm good with that too. What is that?
Those are two watches. So she's double ankling.
I don't think that's real. I think she just did that for the foot porn.
That is double ankling right there.
I mean, if you're a foot person.
Oh, dude, if you're a foot person
and you like heels, I guess this may be for you.
I can see you doing this all day long. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to go over?
No, we got some good content that will be coming out. We've already been brainstorming, putting some ideas in motion.
Yeah.
And so be looking out for a ton of great content this year. I'm excited about it, and
I'm very excited about it. Mike is working on a video idea right now, one or two. So you'll see him on the channel more often than you have the last few months. And then hitting back on Patreon, you go check it out, but you get a ton of benefits. Really, the most exciting thing for me is when you get to the middle tier. We have 3 tiers. The middle and highest tier, we have set up questions of the month. And that's where you guys can ask us anything that you want to ask us that you're curious about. I don't care. Nothing is really off limits. And what we're going to do is once a month, we're going to answer those questions for you.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. And then on the highest tier, one of the coolest things is we're going to do polls where you guys can actually help curate and create video ideas that then we will actually go do.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, I like that.
So if you want to be involved in the community, it's a great way to be involved. It's a great way to get your ideas out there and interact with us. So there's a bunch of other stuff as well, so go check that out. But I think those are the 2 things that I'm really excited for, is engaging with the community in that way.
Yeah, there's when I think about the highest tier, there's a lot of other things, hobbies that I have that I wish that I could just engage and say, hey, could you do a review on this, or could you share more, because I can't get my hands on this product or whatever it may be, but I'm interested and I want to know more about it. That's a really cool way to get more and get more honest opinions, other than a salesperson being, salesy on you with it.
I'll add one more thing, by the way. In the highest tier, you get a Zoom call with us, and we'll sit and chit chat and, have a cocktail or 5 and talk about anything that you want. So as part of your membership, we'll schedule a 1-hour video call.
Happy hour.
Yeah, happy hour. We'll hang out and talk watches or whatever it is you want to talk about. So I think that's going to be fun and engaging also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So listen, guys, we appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you.